Hello, everybody. I am bringing you a science lesson today. I've actually recorded this once already, but YouTube blocked it, so I'm going to have another go. So in the description to this video, you will find a link to a video that I played when I recorded this the first time. So you might want to watch that video because it's about what we're doing, obviously. So this time I'm going to record it without playing the video. So that it doesn't get blocked again. So these are the things you'll need today. So obviously your book, your pen or pencil, and also this website. So you can either type in that address there, or there are three ways you can do it. So you can type that in, or I've put a link on Dojo, so you should be able to find it on there. Or you can type in joinmyquiz.com into your internet, and then you'll type in that code, and that will take you to what you need, because I have made you a quiz so that we can see how well we're doing in our learning so far this term. So when you get to that website, it will open up a screen like this. So you're just going to write your name. I'm going to write Mrs. Timms. And then we'll put start. Oh, of course, because I've already done this on another thing. Let's put that, and that might help. There we go. So it will open up a quiz like this. I'm just going to go start game. I don't need to worry about that stuff. And there are, I think, 11 or 12 questions. So they're all to do with things that we've learned so far this term. So there you go. It comes up with a question like that. You choose the answer that you think is correct, and then you just go through all the other ones. Okay, so I'm not going to do that now, but please make sure you do that because we will be able to see who's done it and who hasn't. Okay, so we would love to see how well you get on with that. So make sure you have a go at that at some point this week. You don't have to do it right now, but make sure you do it. You could do it later if you wanted to. So today we're looking at explaining how the digestive system works. So your mouth is the start of your digestive system. Obviously last week we looked at our teeth and we did our experiment. But what is our digestive system? Well, our digestive system is how your body gets all the goodness from your food and breaks it down, and then it gets rid of all the waste. Okay, so there is this video, which I cannot now play, but you will find the link to that in the description to my video. So you can have a watch of that. So instead of me going through that, or you can either pause the video here and go and watch that video, or I'm going to talk through it, but it's not going to be quite as exciting. So putting these images in order, these are all taken from that video. So if you've watched it, you've got a head start. So obviously our digestive system is going to start with our mouth, because obviously we need to eat the food first. So we eat our food, we chew it, our saliva helps us to break the food down, because we can't just swallow like a whole piece of apple or something. We need to break it down, don't we? That's why we chew. So once we've done that, obviously we swallow it, and it goes down this pipe, which leads down into our stomach. And this pipe is either called the food pipe, or the scientific name is the esophagus. Okay. So the esophagus takes it down into here, the stomach, where we've got some acids and enzymes. They're just things that help us to break down the food that we've eaten. So we want the food to be as small as possible so that it can be absorbed into our bloodstream. That's how it gets around our body, all that goodness. So once it's been in the stomach, we've got our liver and our pancreas. They help to digest food because they actually release things like proteins or bile, which helps to break down the fats in our food. Okay, so that's our next one. Right, then we come to this one, which has our intestine. So we've got a small intestine and a large intestine, and they help to break down our food. So the food travels all around this intestine and then all around this large intestine. Now, an interesting fact, which any of you can try and find out, is how long is your large intestine? If you could stretch it out, see if you can find that out, because I remember that that's an interesting fact from when I was at school. So your food travels all around here. It's being broken down all the way. And so the good stuff out of your food when this is happening is going to be absorbed into our bodies. So it comes into our bloodstream from our small intestine. And then the food might carry on through the large intestine. And then any waste is going to come out the bottom of our large intestine. It comes out of our anus, which is obviously in our bottom. So that's quite amusing, isn't it? So there's your food coming out of the end of your digestive system. Okay, so it goes all the way through from the mouth, the stomach. We've got organs that help it. It goes through the small intestine, large intestine, into the bloodstream, and then waste coming out at the end. Okay, that is my quick summary of what's happening when we digest food. And I do think it's really interesting when we digest food, because you think you're just eating this bit of food and it just goes through your body, and then later on you might go for poo. But actually in your body, there's so much stuff happening while that food is traveling through. So it is really interesting. So if you can watch that video that I put the link to, it is really interesting. So your task for today is you can either print this out or draw it. I have seen some amazing scientific drawings this term from those of you that have not been able to print things out. So I saw some fantastic skeletons and some brilliant mouths with all your teeth in too. So if you want to have a go at drawing that diagram, that'd be fantastic. And then you need to label it. And I've given you the words with the spellings there as well, so that will help you to spell those correctly. So you've got the mouth, the esophagus, which remember was the scientific name for the food pipe. You've got the stomach, the small intestine, large intestine, the pancreas, liver, and the anus. Okay, so once you have done that, you've labeled it. Your second part of today's task is to write about the journey of a piece of food through your digestive system. So here is my example, but I've not completed it. So you can use this to start you off, but obviously you'll need to finish it too. So I've said a mouthful of burger enters the mouth and is chewed. Saliva helps to break it down. It is swallowed and travels down the food pipe, also called the esophagus. Now it enters the stomach, where acid and enzymes help to break it down even more. Once it leaves the stomach, it enters the small intestine. And then you need to think about what happens to it there. And then where does it go after the small intestine? And then where does it go after that? Okay. So that's your task for today. So 2 little tasks to do: labeling your diagram and then writing that journey, so that we understand what's actually happening as the food travels through our bodies. Okay, so that is the end of our lesson for today. Hopefully I won't have to record that for a 3rd time. So I look forward to seeing those diagrams on Dojo when you've finished, and I will bring you more science after half term, I guess. So enjoy.